Zenithians, hello. I hope we're live. Probably wait for more people to trickle in, but today, if you didn't see the title or the description, we'll be doing some level design with me, Jessica. Hey guys, thank you for joining. If you don't know who I am the team's 3D environment artist. So I work with like props, environment art, lighting, all that fun stuff. So today we'll be showing you this blue sky and one of our dungeon levels, which will be like a cool laboratory thing that's kind of been caved in and destroyed and ruined. Hello, thank you for joining. So hope you guys are doing good. So to show you guys the design process, I'm going to show you our level block out that we had Will on our team do previously. Let me move this over. So this is a really cool thing called a gray box, or in this case a white box. You know, it kind of shows you the layout of the level, gives you an idea of, you know, what the encounters are going to be like if we're in this room and we want enemies here. It's just good for visualization. So hey guys, thank you for joining. So if we go into here, I already went out and already did the level with actual meshes. So you can see they match up pretty closely. We had to make some tweaks to make it fit the level properly, but you know, room size, level design, it's all about the same. So we're starting here, which is if you imagine like a cool dungeon over here, like a cave dungeon. It goes up to this lab area, and you're just kind of like traversing, fighting stuff, doing all these cool things. Little sneak peek on what the top down looks like. So we have a couple encounter rooms. I said this was the transition down. This will be the transition up to another story, and in the block out you can see it's this cool structure. So today we're working on the middle level. So let me turn off this block out so it's not in the way. So since I already have the base meshes done, so like the walls, the floors, the ceilings are all assembled, today we'll be set dressing everything. So it's a little more, you know, it's more interesting. You have stuff to look at besides each other and enemies. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start with this room right here. I pulled out most of the props that I'll be using out into the space, so we can just drag them, move them into the scene. So as I said, it's a lab themed area. We have, you know, like a lab will probably have like desks and chairs, computers, little boxes, some plants. We have like this cool emissive blue tree because it's cyberpunk, yo. So of course it's gonna be glowing trees with like glowing bits on doors and stuff. As you can see, everything's kind of worn out and distressed because we do want this to be like an abandoned lab. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start pulling things into this room. So this is a pretty small room compared to some of the other spaces. So thinking about like what we want to put in here, I'll probably start with some boxes. Pull these into here. Okay, so let's see, you're entering the room, probably toss some boxes around here, put a little box here. Okay, probably toss some cabinets and stuff like that here. Emissive trees with post-processing look amazing. Yeah, there's no post-processing or really any lighting happening right now. So, you know, you can just imagine it like bloomy, a little more glowy with an actual like blue light, so everything around it is blue. I think in the final version it's gonna look really cool. Right now everything's a little bit flat, but you know, that's part of the process. So hopefully you guys can picture it in your mind's eye. Yeah, so right now I'm listening to relaxing jazz and bossa nova music, Studio Ghibli covers. So if you don't like that, too bad. That's what we're listening to for this stream. That monitor looks like someone got a little too crazy in VR. I think it would need like cracks and like half of it missing. Right now it's a black screen. I did do it so later in the future we could put cool console gibberish in there if we needed to. Hey Toby, thank you. I will keep up the hard work. Okay, so what was I doing? I was putting boxes in the room, so you can't have boxes without some cabinets, I think. I'm thinking maybe since this is a smaller room, we'll treat it as like a little storage area maybe. I'm gonna scale this up a little bit. Scale, duplicate, pull up another little box here. Yeah, imagine the bloom and the holograms in your mind. Let's see. So, how have I been doing lately? I've been doing well. We've been working on this dungeon layout, which has been a lot of fun. I can't wait for us to have enemies and other really cool stuff in there. Yeah, it'll be fun to fight around in and actually, get some loot drops, all that good stuff. That way you can gear up and get new items. Let's see, I have this little shelf thing that could be cute to put somewhere. A little bit lower. So, yeah, let's scale this up just a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put it up higher. Let's see. This guy here. It's like this. Take out one of these glass thingies. I think I separated it out. Maybe I didn't. Okay, that's fine. Take one of these light sources, maybe drop it underneath so I get some under storage lighting. It's a very fancy lab after all. Put this here. Yeah, I mean, maybe this will be like Legend of Zelda where you break the box and you get loot, right? So you just destroy everything. Maybe not, but So I'm gonna go, so like right now I'm just working with one point light to make it easier just to see everything. So ideally, these little lights here would actually be emitting down here and casting shadows and all that cute stuff. Let's see. Okay, let me see, what else do I want here? So destroyed lab. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about wires. So wire, I'm searching for some wires that I made in the past. I have these guys. Might have called it rope and then textured it to be a wire. Let's see. Rope. Okay. And then I think I had a different texture set for this guy. Yeah. Okay. So before this guy was a rope, right? And then I just had a different texture set to make it into a wire. That way you could just reuse the stuff we already have. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little crazy with my hotkeys. Dangly wire bits. Probably want to connect this from the ceiling or something to this guy. Maybe get this connect to the column to here. So a lot of the set dressing is a lot of just like maneuvering stuff around, putting stuff places, rotating stuff. I'm sure you guys seen some other like speed level design type of stuff. Yeah, so just having like little things there make it look a little more lived in and less empty. Let me turn off my gizmos, it's kind of annoying. Okay. Okay, that's that. This guy is going to be a broken door going into like a caved in area. So this is a sneak peek of cave, but without any set dressing or anything special. So let's go ahead and duplicate these rocks, put them in here. Since it's a lab, how about old books, tablets, posters, etc. on the wall scattered everywhere for either lore or quest progression? Yeah, totally. I think we'll totally go back and add those sort of like smaller detail stuff. Right now we're kind of focusing on like filling the space, and then we always do like another texture pass or like another mesh pass where we have the smaller details in there. Like I could imagine like scattered paper, maybe you could read them, you know, just more interesting stuff to fill in the space and tie in with quest or other lore. Totally. There's going to be a pretty interesting enemy in here, so I think that would be really cool to have little hints about it in the space before you encounter them, or maybe it, you know, tells you a little bit more about them. That way, if you're interested in lore and seeing that kind of stuff, you can learn more about them, but you know, you don't necessarily have to. Sort of like if you took the time to read this poster, you would know this really cool tidbit. Poster of Space Cat saying hang in there. That's pretty much obligatory, I think. We'll use Andy's cat and then Photoshop it into space. New here, does Jessica make the assets as well, or do level design, or just level design? Good question, Andrew. I do it all. So yeah, I made the meshes, the textures, did all that working in Unity right now to get them into Unity, and then our original block out was done by Will, and Andy sort of collaborated on that together in terms of like an art direction and gameplay direction. So I basically just swapped everything out with actual like meshes, and now I'm set dressing it, which is another aspect of level design. After I'm done with this, I'll go, you know, do a lighting pass. So I basically do anything that encompasses environment art. Toby, have you been enjoying your work? Yeah, I mean, totally, this is so much fun. Basically just get to thinking and working and talking at the same time is hard. I basically just get to like play dress up with the space, you know. I like playing a lot of Sims, so it's pretty much like build mode, but you know, for an actual game, which is cool. So these guys are getting kind of repetitive, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull a mesh that's kind of like a dirt mound, so it's kind of caved in and rocks and stuff are sticking out of it. So I'm pretty sure I called it mound. What shape do I want? I think I want this shape. So right now it's a grass one that we used for the outdoor environment, but instead I want it to be for the cave. So I think I called it dungeon actually. So I want the dungeon floor material, so now it matches the ground here. So it kind of blends in pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead, move some of these guys. Yeah, now it's a little more interesting, right? Before it was just flat. Now you have a little bit of a slope. And now I can take those rocks that I moved, oh my god, sorry, and put them into the dirt. Yeah, okay, probably do another one this way, like this maybe scale it out so it has a little more bumpiness to it, a little more depth. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's see, this. Okay, that's good for now. I'm gonna pull the mesh I'm using for the door to sort of cover this area up too. Let me look at some of the questions. Is this the first dungeon that is being built for Zenith? Yeah, this is actually the second floor of one of the dungeons. So the first floor is this cave-ish thing, but like a, you know, ruined cave. There's like a mining area, so there's a lot of like cool blue essence crystals, stuff like that. So as you move up into the level, we're gonna turn this into like a caved-in lab, basically. And then later we'll have another upper floor that will be even more high-techy. So we're kind of going from like destroyed cave cavern to destroyed lab area to more of a high-tech lab. Whenever you do the lighting, will you make some of the lights flicker or just be broken until fixed by the player? That's a really cool idea. You know, I'll have to talk to the engineers about that. Yeah, we'll see. That's a great idea though. I can also imagine like little sparks and stuff like that flying out of it. I think this guy I'm gonna use for the door here. Move him here. Alright. Have ourselves a broken door. I like the scale of that. The scale of that's okay. Move this here. Going to mirror it this way. Make these attached together by snapping them. Then we have a little door. I can adjust the scale on it a little bit. Maybe rotate it so it's like extra broken. Yeah. I can also mirror it this side so it's not so obvious it's the same piece. But I guess you guys know now, so my secret's out. Alright, broken door. Probably want some of the dirt and stuff to spill out into here. Because nature takes over. Let's see. Maybe like that. Okay, that's not bad. Let's scale these back down. Do another guy like this. Like it looks okay from this angle, right? When you look to the side, you're like, oh no, that's floating off a little bit. And then in VR, that's really obvious because you can really get up looking into the spaces, crawling on the floor if you want to, looking at everything. So I really got to make sure that everything looks pretty good. Later on, the benefit of doing all this in Unity and any other game engine is that later on, after the stream, I can go through and look at everything in VR, so I can get a better sense of the scale, make sure, you know, nothing's obnoxious looking, like in the way of you trying to encounter an enemy, or, you know, nothing's blocking your way, everything kind of looks like natural. Yeah, I would do that on the stream, but I think my computer would freak out and everything would be laggy, so just imagine we're going through in VR. Let's see. It's amazing to see how fast you work in Unity. Yeah, I think once you start working in Unity, it'll be like second nature. Set dressing is pretty easy. Pretty easy to do quickly. I'm sure you guys have seen like speed builds where people will take nothing and turn it into something pretty quickly. is pretty intuitive, so just hang in there and you'll do great. Are they modular assets as well? Yeah, everything is pretty modular. All these walls, all these floor pieces, all snap together. This way we can easily make all the different variations really quickly. And then, you know, later if we wanted to generate more rooms or more layouts, it would be really easy for us to do. So right now this guy is pretty brown, pretty boring. As you can see on the doors and stuff, we have some moss, so we want some like natural overgrowth. So I'm gonna look at some bushes or something to have peeking through the rock as well. Let's see, I think I want this guy. Okay. Bush here, maybe behind here. And then maybe in this corner, right? We'll dress that up, starting with this corner. This corner looks okay. Maybe put this here. So you have little pops of green, but you know, it's not too bad. So if we look this way, yeah, okay. And then if you look up here, you'll see that it's sort of like a cave with a little hole, so light peeks through, but we have like overgrowth nature happening. You can make a false wall into a hidden space where enemies can burst through the wall in a scripted event. Oh my god, could you imagine this is a door? This is a door and you guys just like break through it and then find all the hidden loot here. That could be pretty cool. Mushrooms and fungi, since it's a dungeon. Yeah, I have some glowy mushrooms I can add in here. I'm just gonna finish up with the bigger stuff and then I'll go through and see what we can add in. This wall, hold up. So if I'm looking here, right here is a little bit empty. I think the corners are okay. No, this corner needs something, hold on. Let's rotate this guy. See what shapes I want. That looks kind of interesting. So if you can't tell, a lot of my job is just like rotating stuff until I think it looks good. Maybe if I scale it this way. I think what I'm not liking is the depth of it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I can live with that. So let's take one of your suggestions and grab some mushrooms. Mushroom, singular. So I have these guys created already. They're essence shrooms. So, so they're blue and glowy. If you do any game dev stuff, I'm organizing my hierarchy, otherwise we're gonna have stuff everywhere and it will drive me absolutely insane. So I'm gonna put all these guys into little groups. Not mushroom, bush. Put this in here, put this in here, put this mound in here. So the benefit of doing something like this, organizing your stuff, is that if I wanted to disable everything at the same time, I could. If I wanted to make any changes, you know, it's super easy to go through and find stuff. So That's why I'm doing that. Okay, so my mushrooms are all the way over here. I need them to be over here, please. So let's just drag these guys over. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, teeny tiny mushrooms. We'll make them a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll put the tinier ones out here. Just little accents of blue, glowy stuff that look pretty cool. So these doors were actually sculpted by Will in medium, and then I took them and optimized them and textured them and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't seen, I think Will had a live stream where he actually sculpted in medium, so that was pretty cool if you guys want to check that out. So you know what that design process is like. Little mushroom. Put some little mushrooms here. Make this a large mushroom. Put a tiny mushroom. Okay. A baby shroom. This is where, if you have OCD, really is the best and worst thing to just tweak things all day, but also the worst thing. Sorry, my email's popping up. Okay. Okay, so if I'm thinking about this in terms of lighting, you know, I like that when you walk in, you kind of get the hints of blue, and if you explore a little bit further, you get this other nice shot of blue stuff here. I think I want to increase the amount of blue stuff, so I'm gonna find my crystals, crystal cluster. So these are essence crystals. So these are scattered all around the first floor of the dungeon. So I think having them like reoccur throughout as a running theme is kind of nice. So you're like, oh, I know what those are. It all kind of ties in together nicely. Maybe make them little fat chunky crystals. Little squat. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Now this area looks a little bare, so I'm gonna just put like a tiny bush or something. Okay, baby bush. Yeah, that's not bad. And then I think here it's broken. Put a little wire action. I think I actually want this one because its rotations are not crazy, so it'll be easier for me to manipulate. Okay, a little wire action. Rotate, rotate. Scale it. Okay. And then, I think this kind of looks like you can kind of walk through here, so I probably just want to blockade it off a little bit more so it doesn't look like you can traverse this area. I also have a knack for glowy blue things. Neverly also looks like it's flipped upside down, so we had to make. Yeah, we could totally make mushroom clusters. I think I just don't want to go too overboard with all the blue stuff, because we do have a lot of like crystals happening in the other scene. So I think if this was like a essence forest or something like that, it would work out really well. Okay, so this is a giant branch. I'm gonna block off this path by maybe putting like branches or rocks or something so it doesn't look like you can actually go through. Kind of like a natural version of caution tape, I guess. The branches are also something you'll see in the dungeon level. As you guys saw, that glowing blue tree, just imagine it was like overgrown because it's a science lab and they do evil science stuff. So this is sort of like the aftermath of that, right? I do think it does make sense for the mushrooms and other essence stuff to be clustered together. Maybe there's like a vein of essence or something of that nature that forces them to actually glow blue, so it's like an aftermath of that. I think you'll see that in some of the other levels as well, where we have naturally occurring essence happening. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this shape. Yeah, I don't like that. Let me find a different branch or something. I think this one is fine the way it is. Maybe a little too big. Rotate this guy. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are getting a cyberpunk science fantasy vibe. That's what we're going for. Another branch. If you guys can see from the file name, it's called Giant Bonsai Tree Branch, so that's why the scale of these are huge, but it's nice that we can reuse them for smaller purposes as well. Scale this way maybe. This guy, and then maybe I can try this guy sneaking around again. Okay, now it's too small. Oh my god, okay, this guy. So I want to like pretend like this is growing out of this, so they have to be kind of close in size, so that makes sense. Okay, I don't, this isn't too bad. Okay, so now if you peek through, you can see that this doesn't actually attach to anything else. So maybe if we finesse it a little bit, it'll kind of be out of view, so you won't notice that. Yeah, and you know what's really good at hiding that? A bush. Maybe a rock. We'll see. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with rocks for this guy. Or maybe try another dirt mound. Okay. What direction do I want this? I feel like that's okay. Then we can push these guys up. Make sure it's not poking through the wall. We're looking good. Have these guys is. Go a little bit more. Okay, so take a look at our little corner here. Okay, so you're walking in, you're like, oh wow. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you try to go through here and you're like, oh no, there's tree branches, I can't. So having like a colliding wall or something here would actually make sense. Because I'm sure you guys have played games where it's the invisible wall and you're like, why can't I go here? I think it makes sense to have some natural borders or something that, you know, ties logic to why you can't actually go there. You could have a straight up tree growing through the door. You know, I could. I might do that for one of the larger areas. You know, this is a small room. I don't want to like overwhelm it with a tree necessarily. So we looking at this corner, it looks good, and then you turn here and this one looks not as interesting. So we're gonna take some of this stuff, maybe move it over to the side as well. Just a little bit. Just a little peek of nature. It's kind of sticking through the wall a little bit. Something like that. I wonder if it looks good if we put it up here too. The boss is going to be something really cool. No spoilers, so you guys are gonna have to wait for that. I don't like that. This does not look that great. Okay. Again, the same issue with the, it just kind of terminates here. It doesn't kind of like spill out at all. So I'm gonna see what can do about that. Okay. This here, trying to make the shape a little more interesting, because before it's kind of like meh, kind of wonky. Now it's a little less wonky, I think. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. Maybe get some elevation changes, and then rotate. Okay, now this rock being there, it looks kind of dumb. This thing could be rotated a little bit too. So we'll just move, we can move this guy over here a little bit. Okay. Right now the colors and stuff are kind of off because the lighting looks weird. Like these look way too much of a contrast from each other, but I think once we actually have the lighting done, it should blend in a little bit more, and then if it doesn't, I can go through and actually adjust that by maybe making a different texture set or something like that. So if things are looking kind of wild right now, it's kind of hard to tell until it's finalized. So right now we're just going for like what I think will work together, and if it doesn't, we'll just make some adjustments, no big deal. I think maybe too much. I can't tell if that's, okay, that's not flooding, it's the cut in of the wall. So I think something like that, it's okay. Okay, I'm okay with that, and then maybe we'll take, oh my god, clicking on these really small stuff can be a pain sometimes. And then two little shroomies, And then maybe take these guys and like I don't know. I'm thinking about like, ooh, what if I just like stick it out of the rubble or something like that. I like the idea, but I don't think I like it for this area. So I'll kind of keep that in mind later, that I want like one of these guys turned to its side, maybe open the cabinet door. Oh my god, click on the door. Can click on the door and then maybe have like plants and stuff spilling out of it. Just a thought for later. Let's undo all that. Okay. Guess we'll tie it together with some wires. Because right here needs a little something. And then you can imagine like in real life you typically have like wires and that kind of stuff hidden in the wall, so it makes sense that they're kind of exposed. And then I'll place some of the lights, so maybe some of them are attached to the wires, that kind of stuff too. Okay, yeah, that's okay for now. Wires indeed everywhere. Okay, this corner looks nice. I think I'm okay with this being a little bit bare for now. Let me see what I have that I can put in there. I can put a little desk. See what this little plant stand would look like. Hello, thank you. Not the biggest fan of that for there. Okay, we've kind of neglected the ceiling a little bit. Let me turn down the light a little bit, or move it so I can kind of see the ceiling a little bit better. These ceiling lights here, so maybe if I scatter them, one, hello, here, it should be okay. Because this is for aesthetics as well as practicality of how much we want the scene to be lit. And then just messing with this guy, I'll just move it over. Testing some assets before the stream. Okay. I'm okay with that lighting. I think, can I turn some of these to be non-emissive lights? Make a copy. So lights _ dim. Maybe make it not as bright. So intensity like that. Yeah, something like that works out okay. And then maybe like the dim ones, I'll have them be broken or something like that. That way we have some more interesting lighting scheme instead of everything being like well lit, like it would be in a not broken lab. We'll just have some of them be on. Okay, oh my god. So because this room has an open light, I would imagine some of the light would spill out into here. So I don't necessarily want to blow that out or compete with a natural light source. So I'm going to probably make the ones around here not lit and then focus the ones here to be lit. Alright, something like that should be okay for now. Yeah, I'll play around with that a little bit later. Panels hanging from the ceiling, parts caved in with trees, tree roots grown through. Yeah, okay, let's see. Panels from the ceiling. I don't know if I have any panels right now for the ceiling. I think I have a destroyed version of the floor. Maybe I didn't import that. But I think this room itself is pretty caved in, so I don't want to do too much. But I'll keep that in mind for another room. Let's see. Floor is kind of bare. What are we gonna do? We're gonna grab some some floor wires. Yes. Okay. But make them go this way. Sneak these guys around. Let's see. Let me just grab. I grabbed this one. We got this one too. Then in theory, I should be able to attach them together pretty closely, so they kind of continue off one another. Attachment point here. Okay, the scale is different, so make these all 1.5, and then make these 1.5, and then I'm vertex snapping here, so that works out okay. And then I have a little connector piece to hide that little seam. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but I certainly did. So let's see that these two are kind of different pieces. I think this piece is a little too mossed out, so later I'm going to go back and make it less mossy, but you get the idea that it's like a little connector. And then put that connector into the wall, because that makes sense to do. Okay, and then yeah, so that kind of breaks up the space a little bit more. I want to put something here. You guys at work and or school should probably focus on work and or school. Just a thought. But thank you for joining us anyways. Tripping hazards. Well, you know, it is maybe not an OSHA safe lab, so it's okay if it's a little crazy. I'm gonna grab this desk here, put it here. Let's see. Maybe you and a little buddy can sit together while you work. Maybe put them a little bit closer together. Snap them. I'm gonna center this on the wall. Okay. And then maybe chair like this guy, something like that. These keyboards are way too tidy, so okay. And then, I mean, maybe this guy is just straight up not upright. Okay. It's kind of like I want it to look imperfect, but thinking about it makes it automatically look kind of too well put together, so sometimes you just gotta let your mouse take the wheel, give it that randomness. Okay. I wonder what a table flipped would look like. So like it's you, your coworker, and then like someone else just losing their marbles, so they flipped their table over before everything got abandoned. See what that looks like with a little dirt mound or something to support it. So I like the idea, like the narrative of having a table flip, but I don't know if I like what it looks like, unfortunately. Dirt's great for half buried things. That is definitely where stuff is half buried, is in the dirt, so I agree. Okay, I don't know. This corner, this area is okay. This area is a little bland, but I think just put, I think lockers here again would make sense. Maybe they're disheveled lockers. So locker here like this. This guy's a little jacked up. Got a door for this guy, so maybe it's a little askew. Maybe this would be a good contender for some sort of, maybe not fully horizontal, maybe it's like leaning against another locker or something. Maybe if I move these over, that'll work a little bit better. Okay. Let's see. Alright, yeah, I'm okay with that. And then put this in here, so it's a little something. And then, you know, we could put little trinkets or something on top of it. That could be interesting. Let's see. Chaotic energy. Chaotic, half-buried, and dirt energy. Ideas for this corner would be great. I don't have a couch model at the moment, so I'll take some other suggestions if you guys have any. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna put some more wires on the ground. A monitor, okay. You can never have enough boxes. Okay. Let me hold the thought on this guy. I think I was gonna put this. Not like that, like here or something like that. Let's just pretend like these desks have terrible cable management. Monitor. I think monitor, maybe if I scale this down. So I like the shape if it's scaled up, but I don't want it to be as big. Just making sure this isn't clipping through into another level, or another room rather. This is where monitors go to die, maybe? Shards of farthest side of the room. Y'all are getting really descriptive with these ceiling shards of glass in the room. Alright, I don't know if I'm crazy about this idea. You guys have a lot of great ideas for like broken test tubes and vials and bones and stuff, so maybe I'll keep that in mind and leave this for now kind of blank. I'm not sure, because the monitors are kind of like blends in a little bit too much, and I want something that kind of sticks out a little bit more. Let's just see what a chair looks like for the sake of it. Okay, it's okay. Maybe make it a smaller dirt mound. Okay, that's not bad. Hitting the ground, not quite. Okay, so let's, well, put it like that. Connecting the ground a little bit more. Maybe I'll just rotate it. Okay. Chairs. I feel like physically that doesn't make sense, so maybe we'll lean it against the pillar. Right. I feel like that's plausible enough. Maybe we'll put like a monitor on the chair or something. The monitor's too big. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. And then this is where you could put like something on the screen that could be kind of interesting, or maybe I can replace this with like, okay, not crazy about the monitor, let's try a keyboard. I think the monitor kind of mimics the shape of the chair too much, so it's kind of like a blends in instead of stands out as being something on top of the keyboard, or on top of the chair rather. I also think lighting is going to help differentiate everything. Right now everything kind of meshes together. Chair, rotate. Okay. Blend this little edge together a little bit more. Yeah, your monitor. I think we'll put one here or something like that. All right, that is Yellow's monitor. There you go. Okay, let's see, what else can I put? I don't want to make it too cluttered in case we do have enemy instances. You don't want to be tripping over having like desks and like other stuff in the way of you fighting or, you know, exploring or anything like that. So that's why a lot of the stuff I keep towards the edges of the room. That way you can really focus on whatever you need to do in here in the center. Just seeing if I can configure something that I like. Then I want to mirror it this way, so I'm going to flip this on the negative axis. then snap them together, maybe. Yeah, that looks okay. Pull one of these connectors again, if I can click on it, there we go. And then, where was the seam line? The seam line was there, so put this here. Desks are good for cover-based combat though, if you have that. Yeah, the thing is right now, I'm not entirely sure what our combat gameplay is going to be in the dungeon. So I'd rather leave it a little bit open-ended, and then if we find that we want to do something like covered-based combat, you can easily go through and just move these guys towards the center or just add some new ones. So right now I want to keep it a little bit generic. Okay, I think I'm gonna move on from this room for the time being. Maybe let's move on to a larger room. I can do the hallway, but hallways are kind of boring. Yeah, let's set up this large room. So this is a blank canvas. Let me take my light so we can see what we're doing. This guy here. Let me just disable this guy. Okay. And then range, make it expand out a little bit more, make it a little bit brighter. Okay. Now we can actually see a little bit better. If I have two, it's gonna freak out. Yeah, it's gonna freak out. I'm just gonna put one. Move it around a little bit. Okay. So in this large scene, I think I have about an hour left, so we'll try to shoot and do this large area. I think I want to put the glowy tree in here, so let's focus on that. This light, yo. Maybe it's a little too bright. Okay. Gizmos. Can make this tree. Maybe I don't want to make it too big. And then top-down view. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, just making sure it's centered. I think that's pretty close. Okay. So I'm going to move this planter so it fits in properly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Since you're seeing this at all angles, I don't have to be too nitpicky on which way I want the tree trunk to curve and stuff like that. Yeah. Have the glowy tree surrounded by sciencey things. Yeah, definitely. Or have this be a relaxation room. This is the Zen meditation room where you have to fight enemies. I do like that idea maybe for a smaller space, because labs or large offices usually do have like a quiet room, so that could be interesting to have. I think for this guy I'm gonna choose these like test tubey things, go with that sciencey route. So I'm just gonna drag a couple into here. Yeah, I'm okay with that scale. Just kind of placeholder, you put them here. Just rotate them so they don't look like the same thing. Maybe move them back a little bit more. Okay, I think here is where I probably want to play around with opening up the ceiling a little bit. Because the clearance of that tree to the ceiling is a little low, but I don't want to really make this much smaller. I feel like it's kind of underwhelming for this large space. So Should I do caved in or maybe something with the ceiling panels? I thought I had a destroyed variation. Maybe I didn't import it in. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that mesh and get it in here. Tree bust right through the roof. Let me see. Well, let me play around with both those options. I do like the idea of like crystals and dirt coming out around it, like an overgrown turbocharged tree essence type thing. Where did I put my mesh? Or maybe I didn't export it. I'll do that later, it's fine. So we'll focus on the ceiling a bit later. Let me grab these branches. So I had a branch there, I had these branches here too, move these here. Alright, duplicate them, and then just move them over here, and then we'll just play around with them a little bit. Center pivot, scale them out. Maybe I can make this a little bit of a larger planter, give us some more room to show the roots that we have here. Okay. Then obviously move it up so you can actually see it. Okay, maybe, what if we make it a little bit squatter? Just a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. This is still sticky in the ground though, so let's try that again. Like this. Okay. Maybe make this a little more shallow so I can give the roots some clearance to actually go over. Touching the ground. This is good. This is intersecting. Almost. There we go. Okay. Rotate. Let's see what looks good. Probably put another one of these. Like this. So it's not just clipping through. It's doing something. Expand it on this axis. This branch is just like way too long for this. I think these guys are just too long for this. Maybe I'll go back and modify the mesh so that these roots are a lot chunkier, so it makes sense that these branches are coming out of them. Trying to squat in the make the tree a little more squat so these guys get a little bit bigger at the bottom. So it makes actual logical sense that these guys can come out of this tree. Okay, yeah, let's go with it for now, and then later I'll make the roots coming out of the tree a little bit thicker so it blends in better. Okay. yeah, maybe we're injecting the tree with essence, that way there's like tubes and stuff coming out of it. That could also be interesting. Let's see. This guy looks like insane. Push this here a little bit, rotate it. Okay. Now it's kind of too like uniformly in a 3 that these roots are growing out of, so maybe I'll rotate this guy a little bit offset. Because if the tree is bending this way, it'll typically have roots going here to anchor it from moving this way, so it doesn't just fall over. So I guess that makes sense logically about the roots being centered on this part of the tree. If I can finesse it to do what I want. Alright. The idea is there, so I know later I can go back and zhuzh that up a little bit more. If it's clipping through, just add dirt. True, but then you guys will see just like there's dirt everywhere. A little bit too much. Okay, let's pull one of the dirt mounds that I had from here so I don't have to pull it from the project and just like see what we can do about making stuff grow out of it. I think I want a different dirt shape though, so I'm going to pull this one that's more round and then go from there. Yeah, okay, so maybe put one of these guys here, something like that. Crazy about this. It does cover that root boy that I had here a little bit. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. And maybe I'll just make the base of this area dirt so I can move everything up again. Let's see. Challenges. I don't want to cover up this planter with dirt necessarily. So maybe if I flatten this enough, or it doesn't do too much to the planter. Scale it up a little bit. So then I have the space to work off of to make it sort of overgrown with essence stuff, crystal infused dirt. Totally. Let's see. I'm just gonna get my base dirt looking okay, and then I'll go through and add some crystals and mushrooms and maybe jack in some wires into the tree or something that later, if we have time, we could replace with tubes of essence, or maybe we'll just put some crystals into the tree. I mean, we have a lot of options here, which is great. Okay. I think that's too much. Okay, And then do it a little bit more of an organic border if we can. Cut that through. Oh, I think I'm too high up. Okay. I was clicking on the ceiling instead of the ground stuff. Okay, then I'll just put some dirt here so I remember later to deal with that. Okay. I don't like this border. I don't know if I could do something about that. That's okay for now. Okay, let's get some crystals. I think I only had one version there, so I'm gonna pull from here. Close these guys. Close, close, close. Hold on, move these back in here. No, goes here. Put a new crystal group. Crystal. Okay, now we have crystal cluster 2. So I have 3 and 1 I can play around with. So 1 here, 3. Drag it in the scene so I don't have to move it here. Crystal 3. Little tiny versions of the tree in test tubes. That could be cool, like little baby trees. I don't know. Let me just play around with that idea. I think this specific tree I don't think this tree looks quite like a sapling. It just kind of looks like you scaled down that tree. But I will keep that in mind and maybe pull some of the other tree shapes we have and see if that works. Instead of like it growing, it looks like you shrink raid the tree. Which is something evil lab people would do, so I guess that does make some sense. Okay. Crystals, I think. Game object, align with view. This crystal as well. Let me scale this. Let's see, what does it look like if I put it into the tree? I'm not mad at that. It's okay. Put in a little angle. And then now comparatively these leaves don't look as glowy as the crystals. So I might increase their vibrancy a little bit. Change the color to be a little more blue than teal. I think that color matches a little bit better. So we have crystals. Let's get some shroom action. So let me find my mushrooms. Mushrooms, close these guys. Mushrooms 1, 2, 3. Just drag them here. Okay. Make sure this one doesn't get lost. ASMR typing. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are liking it so far. I think it's starting to come together. Like the other room was, I would say about, I don't know, 75% of the way there. It definitely needs a little more polishing, some smaller assets scattered around, but I think it gives you a good idea of the level design process, the set design process, how you take assets and try to like put them together in a way that makes sense and leaves room for you guys to like explore, especially if you've put little Easter eggs or lore tidbits and stuff like that in there. I don't think I like that. Okay. I think I actually have an essence version of these roots. Wonder, a little bit of essence in there. Yeah, it has a little bit of essence peeking through. I have to go through and do another version that has even more essence. We need more essence. Okay, that way it makes sense. And then do some like essence carvings into the tree or something like that. Really tie it in together. Okay, this mushroom needs a little bit of help. Let's see. Coloring. Alright, I think this would be a good contender for some grass, so pull some grass in. Do I want the essence grass? Or do I want normal grass? I guess maybe, why not both? Let's do both normal grass and essence grass. Hopefully they blend in well together. Thanks guys, I also can't wait for me to see the final version. Because a lot of this is sort of exploring what I have from the concept to go off of, but also just figuring out what I think looks good, and what you guys would enjoy. So hopefully when you see the final version you guys like it as well. Grass, grass, grass. Oh man, placing grass manually is such a pain, but I think it will be worth it. Maybe this guy's too close to this other one now. Well, essence grass does make sense. I think if I just made everything too blue, it'd be a little insane. So I'm gonna try to scatter some of the green ones around too, just a little bit. Break it up. This is too tall. Okay. Let's put another little cluster here. This guy up. Okay, can't really see the grass. Move it up a little bit more. Let's see. Rotate it so it looks a little different. And now cover this area up a little bit more. baby mushrooms. We need a little essence gnome. Essence conspiracy gnome. Grab this. I mean, we have the mushrooms, so it makes sense that we'd have little garden gnomes and tchotchkes in here, right? Little essence fairies. This would also be a good contender for like little glowing blue sprites or something like that too. Really give it that like magical essence feel. Put this in here. Okay. Okay, I think this immediate area is looking pretty good. We covered a lot of that dirt, made it a little bit more interesting with the grass, the essence grass. Thank you for that suggestion. Probably move on pretty soon into another part of this room. Once I say I'm moving on and then I'm still placing grass because I think it looks good. Hold up, okay. Last grass. Okay, little vignette of this area looks good. Now this area is kind of plain right here, so I'm gonna see what I got. I could just do more grass, but that might be kind of boring. I don't know. Tiny mushroom on tree. Okay, I'll put one tiny mushroom on the tree. This one's a cute one. Okay, this tree is jacked up. It has like essence and like crystals and mushrooms and stuff growing out of it. I would definitely eat fruit from this tree. I think this is where we can get like essence apples or something. Yeah, you're welcome. The mushroom looks really cute on there. I dig it. I kind of want to put a little mushroom on a root too, because I think that makes sense. But it has to be a baby mushroom. Boop. Okay. Okay, hold on. It's a little too tall, I think. Then maybe rotate it just a little bit. All right. This area looks a little bit too much, I think. Just gonna pare it back a little bit. Diamond lanterns. Where are you guys getting these ideas from? Oh my god. I want a diamond lantern in real life. Okay. I don't like that. Okay. I think later I'm gonna make a floor that has some more dirt on it, so I don't have to try getting these guys to fit in properly and blend in. We'll just kind of already have something that fits in. So for now it's gonna be a little bit of a stark contrast, but it should blend in a little bit more. Actually, I have an idea. I think I have leaf piles? No, the question is, do I call them leaf or leaves? Leaf. Pile 2, I think. Yeah, something like this might work. You do hear Howl's Moving Castle, but the Bossa Nova Jazz version. think you get the idea with that. Let me see if I can do something to color match it a little bit more. Maybe make this 2 but emissive. So here's a little preview of the material. Let's see what happens if I make it just a little bit blue. Maybe if I tint it blue instead of making it emissive, it won't get too blown out. Yeah, okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think it's a little bit closer, but it is. It's not essence-y enough, you know? So 0.5. Oh my god, that's too much essence. 0.75. Because I just want to make it a little emissive. They are kind of dead leaves. I think that kind of blends in with the darker parts of the trees. Okay, okay. I think in our concept I think we had some ideas of like wires jacked into the tree as well, so let's see what that looks like. Close these guys. Grass, hold on. Organize my work a little bit and then we'll get to the wires pile. Glowing essence wires. Ooh, okay, now you're thinking with essence. I like that idea a lot. Okay. I like this wire. Drag these here. Would it be able for you to share the playlist on Discord later? Yeah, if I remember, I'll shoot the link in there. Will it? Yes. Wait, hold on. This guy is floating, so we want it to hit the ground, but we also want it to hit the tree at the same time, so that's pretty close, I think. Snaky the wires around a little bit. Maybe we'll make these huge and make them have like emissive ley lines or something cool in them as well. I do like the idea of emissive wires though, so I wish I thought of that sooner. So I'm stealing that idea. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll maybe do another 1 or 2 of these sticking out of it. I'm trying to get it. I guess no, I'm trying to like vertex snap it and that didn't work, so let's try to get this here like this. Center point is fine. Don't forget monitors. Yeah, I will not forget the monitors. Don't you worry. I realize we have monitors and keyboards, but no mice, so I don't know. This future is like super cyberpunky. This is why you don't pump trees full of essence. It's true. Okay, it's lunchtime, so I'm thinking about food, and I'm also thinking about essence food. So would this tree produce like essence maple syrup? Maybe. Even like the logistics of pumping a tree full of essence is kind of confusing. But you know, people will find a way. Do not try at home though. Okay. And then we'll call this live stream Jessica wrangling wires for 2 hours because I feel like it's important, but I also don't know if you guys are enjoying enjoying my wire wrangling. Let's see. I think that wire's floating. Okay. We're gonna do one jacked in. Yes, we are doing essence food again. Welcome to my live stream. This is what I do. Okay, we're just gonna do one wire for now. That's fine. Let's figure out what else we want to put in this space. I like these guys as like little wall dividers. So let's see if we can carve out part of the level a little bit more so it's not one box. Maybe we can carve out a little cubicle area or something like that. Make it a little bit more interesting. If I mirror this guy, put it like this, maybe. Snip, snip. Wall dividers are very anime. Sliding wall dividers are extra anime, I agree. Okay, I think I like that, and then maybe we'll make this a little like computer monitor situation. So they're like analyzing the tree from this workstation. I think that makes sense. Well, yeah, I think that's fine. I forgot to grab the end caps to that desk. Let me try that again. There we go. Cyberpunk tatami for another room. Man, I don't know if a lab would have that, but I think that'd be really cool for like a house dwelling. Essence tatami mats could be interesting. Right. Okay, let's just do one and then maybe grab some of those lockers and boxes, put them here. I could see a little whiteboard where it's like essence plus tree equals good or something. That could be fun. Locker boxes. Okay. So box goes here. Okay. I wonder if I like the, no, I like the lockers against the wall. Hello, thank you. And now I agree, we need some happy little chords. This area, it's not too bad. Okay. I think I want these to be away from the destroyed stuff. Give them their own little moment. I do have a little plant stand. That would be cute. Next to the desk. I think I also have a little cabinet situation. That would be good. There we go. Okay, do I have dirt in here? Yeah, let's put some mushrooms in there. That could be cute. I want little glowing mushrooms next to my desk. I would enjoy that a lot. Okay. Okay. Put like baby essence grass in there. A little bonsai inside of the planter. Yeah, let's try that. Oh my god, grass, please. Okay. Okay. And then maybe we'll put let's see what this looks like. Yeah, what if we gigafied this bonsai? Like take this but make it big. That's a very sciencey thing to do, right? Oh, it's cute. Little baby bonsai. Okay. Okay, that turns green from afar. Let me fix that. Okay. Bonsai tree. Missive. Okay. Okay, I love this idea. I think I'm gonna move it to another room. That way, maybe in this beginning room. So you're like, oh wow, cool, a blue mini tree. That's cute. And then later when you get to the other room, you're like, oh my god, it's a big glowing blue bonsai tree. That way you get like a little hint before you get to that actual room. Okay, let's see, labby stuff. Move these over. We do another row of them. Alright, if I were a scientist in Zenith, what would I put in here? I would put probably crystals. I would definitely put crystals in here. Oh my god, crystals in all caps. That's what we want. Crystal, crystal, crystal. I want a plain crystal. There you go. Okay. Make that smaller. If you guys saw my other live stream, this is the crystal that was in the large monolith. Definitely do this with like some baby floating crystals. And then let's do like that. I think I actually just prefer the one in there. Yeah, just do the one. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. What else should I put in here? I did try the bonsai tree, but I think it looked weird. So if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. Let's see what else we got. We got little mushroom. I think these are cute, so I'm going to be putting them in here. Is that inside? Yes. And then you can imagine them like, I don't know, bobbing or like some cool lights floating down or something like that. So it makes sense that they're just floating. You put another little mushroom in there. What shape do I like? I like this one. Right, little mushroom. They almost look like a little jellyfish from afar, which I like. Put this up. I wonder if I could get some flowers and make them essence based. Flower. No. It's kind of cute. Is this just a single flower or do I only have clusters? I mean, I guess we could try that. Flower 2, and then let's see. I want the material, and then I want that was one, and this is okay. And then make it blue. Oh no, that makes everything blue. Okay, just kidding. We'll revisit flowers mentally later. Delete this. Don't need that. When you light the tubes, lighting from below makes it even spookier. It does make it even spookier, I agree with that. Wire for the pods. The skeleton of a dead scientist. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Put like little baby monsters or something in here. Just put a baby in there and now we're now we're a completely different game. Yeah, I guess we could try sneaking some wires in there, see what that looks like. Wire. Baby self. I know. I'm tempted, but I don't know if that's a little too much to put a little baby self in there. Should I make one of these toppled over? I need to really make a destroyed version of one of these, and then that would make sense that like a little monster crawled out of it or something like that. This room needs some lights. I'm gonna pull. I had little side lights. Where did I put those? I don't know. Light. This could be cool for the side. Our sylphs took over the place in Essence Shrine. Ooh. I think you guys are gonna like some of the ideas we have for a little bit later, that are more natural-ish. Spacing these out. gonna move this pillar over just a little bit. There we go. This reminds me of a vault from Fallout. Yeah, I could totally see that. Fallout has a lot of like destroy techie stuff, and it does experiment with like mutants and other sci-fi themes. Plus I also really like Fallout, so that's like a huge compliment. Thank you. Move these over just a little bit. Oh, my OCD. Okay. Rotate, snap it on the other wall. Okay. Yeah, I think having these side lights are really gonna help make it a little more labby. Because labs always have a ton of fluorescence, which should be a nice contrast from our cave, which has like, I don't know, lantern-ish lighting, or just lighting from the outside peeking in. Okay. Let's put a couple of these. I think I did every other in the other room, so I'll just stick to that. This. It's not even. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think if I just do the center rows, that'll work out good. Okay, this area and this area need stuff. Maybe I'll run another divider here. Break up the space. Yeah, now I can fill this area with labby stuff. I don't know if I like that though. Maybe if I bring it in a little bit more, make it more a smaller space. This. Yeah, let me grab the little shelves. Okay, hold on, let me save before I lose everything. Shelf time. Space it out a little bit. Maybe I'll grab that planter, and then I can separate the pot and then just do like some potted plants or something. Okay, let's find you. Unpack pots. Okay. This. Hello, you made it just in time. I think actually I have only a few more minutes, but thank you for joining us anyways. I'm losing track of time here, man. This is a lot of fun. Maybe this is where I can take one of these and we can put baby planter pots in here too. Little baby pot. And then I could stick something in here. Kind of make a little assembly scene of pots or something. Maybe I'll make this, wait, okay, I'll do the upside down one as a small one in the center of a cluster. And then this a little bit bigger. This. Rotate it. Oh my god, rotate. There we go. Okay. Hey guys, I have technically 2 more minutes of the stream. Let me delete this. So today what we did was we started set dressing this lab scene. So we started in here. Hold on, let me grab the light. Okay. What happens if I just move this here? Unity, please. Okay. Grab this light. Like this. Okay. So we started in here, this really small lab room, which I kind of wanted to be like a, I don't know, storage miscellaneous area because it's a small room and we have some desks and stuff here. We also have this running theme of like caved in cavern-ish areas where they're kind of overgrown by nature a little bit. Since the other area of this dungeon has this cave motif. Later, we went through and worked on this really cool glowing bonsai tree thing. Here we go. Turn off gizmos. There we go. So this is our larger room in the lab, so I thought this would be a great place to highlight the large tree. We have this running like sciencey theme with tubes, and we'll put some stuff in here, maybe a baby cellophane, maybe not. Just some, you know, other labby stuff like a little desk. This one's less disheveled than the other room, so each room will be a little bit different in terms of how destroyed it is. Yeah, that was the stream for today. Thank you for joining us. If you guys have any other questions or something, just feel free to put it on our Discord. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Bye guys.